All right, so let's do this. There we go. This should be good. The sun might be a little messed up, but so this is primarily for my buddy Cody. He just got himself a new bow, so I'm just giving him a bit of a rundown of kind of how I do things when I'm shooting and how I practice and what I do to practice. As I was telling him the other day, Cody, remember I said I was shooting a Gatorade bottle caps? That's basically what I've got set up right now. And then, as I said, with regards to bales of straw, these are about 3 feet long, I think, by a foot wide, by a foot and a half deep, maybe a foot and a half high. So that's what I've got. I've got a couple here just as a stand, and then I've got several in behind, and for the most part the arrows don't pass through. So yeah, that's basically my setup. And then I've got, well, that's nice, Winnie. Hey, thanks for leaving me some dog shit right in the path of where I gotta walk, you jerk. So I have old arrows stuck in the ground as place markers so that I don't have to constantly come out and range 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, blah, blah, blah. So 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards just over by the fence. There's a stake out in the yard beyond the fence, that's 50 yards, and then at the brush line over there it's 57 yards. So I know this, and that's what I've got my bow set for. So let's see if we can do this here. I'm using a ladder. Let's go like this. And let's go like this. Okay, so I can see the screen right now, so that's good. As I said to Cody, I use a wrist release because for me it's just easier. Can't always guarantee the strength of my hand grip from day to day, so I use this one. It's nice, I like it. It's adjustable, so I can adjust the length on it. I've got it set now to where I want it, but the nicest part about it is once I've got it on my wrist and I need it to be out of my way, I can fold it up out of the way. I can tuck it up underneath my shirt if I need to, and then I can walk and it's not impeding, it's not clicking, it's not clanging on anything. That's kind of a nicety. So there's that, and then when I'm ready to go, I just flick it back out. So another thing is we had talked about using arrows for hunting and using arrows for target shooting. Now I've got mine exactly the same. I've got them fletched exactly the same, but I don't touch these ones unless I'm hunting. So these ones have broadheads fixed to them. They're a mechanical broadhead, and it's the Grim Reaper series, the as I say, mechanical broadhead. It's got a 3-inch cutting diameter, and I like them very much. Causes a lot of carnage, which means a quick kill, which means ethical and less suffering for the animal. So yeah, that's just what I prefer. I've got a Lift 33, Mathews Lift 33. I like it. And as I said, I'm using the exact same arrows, but just with field tips to practice, so that there's no changes. When I go to draw back that broadhead, I know that it's going to be similar flight characteristics as a regular field tip, you know, from field tip to broadhead. Oh, we have a squirrel running across. Target practice. No, just stay right there, just for a minute. Just for a minute. So, on my bow, I've got an adjustable sight, but I don't use a sight tape, and I probably should have a sight tape on there. I don't. But all my pins are set up for 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way down to 100. And all you have to do is give a simple twist of this, and my sight moves and adjusts. So at a quick glance, I can look at that and I can say that's on the green pin, the top pin, which is 20 yards. So that's what we're going to shoot. So I've got all my arrows are fletched for 4 fletchings. 4 fletchings. So you see that I got one that's miscolored, and I got to have it up and off to the right so that it doesn't contact my my rest. So I had an issue with my peep sight that the string was still twisting, but I had Mario over at High Falls put a twist in just to get that out of there. So I don't know how well this is going to work because I'm pretty close. Winnie, can you move? Move, bub. Move, bub. So first draw of the day. Always hurts for me. Muscles. I got bad shoulders and stuff right now, so it's not easy at 70 pounds. So as I said before, find your anchor point. Put it same every time. Have a routine. I've got a bit of a crosswind right now, so that's going to affect things. And I'll get 2 or 3 arrows in, and my shoulders will start to activate. My shoulders will start to work. So a bit of a routine. So for me, every time I put my lower cam on my hip, I lift my my front sight, or my front rest, excuse me, and then and that's what I do. So it's same routine. So again, I also try not to do the whole the sky draw, and I also try not to point it at the ground. I try and pull it as straight back as possible. As far as I'm concerned, that's going to be the safest, because if you do have an accidental release, at least you're aiming at your targeted area, and less potential for a negligent discharge off into the woods, the neighbor's house, neighbor's cat, anything like that, right? So, yeah. So I've fired 2, 3, 4, or 5. I'll walk you up. You gotta watch for Winnie poops now, and chicken shit. So again, just getting loose. I have a definitive left to right, excuse me, wind. There's the poop. So first shot was this one. Second shot I think was this one. The arrow flew a little funky, and then the last 2 were these guys here. So usually when I'm practicing, I'll also take off my quiver, because when I am in the woods, I usually do take off my quiver. It's less weight to have to hold while you're holding that bow, and it acts less like a sail, so the wind has less input on it, and that's part of the reason, not to mention weight savings, but that's part of the reason why there's so many holes cut out of it on your riser. Okay, so let's see. Give you a different angle. Watch out. Shut up or you're next. Can I zoom this? Oh, I can zoom this. So I'm aiming at the block target on the left, and as I say, I've got the cap from a Gatorade bottle on there. So let's take that off. That'll help. Significant weight savings. So same every time. I lift my rest, feed my arrow through, knock it, hook up. Now, I hope this is let that go a little bit. All right, chicken, move. Fucking oblivious. Okay. So, let loose 3. I'm gonna get this hen out of the way here. Come on, beat it. So, 3 shots, shoulders starting to activate. These are basically touching. So, significantly better archers than me have said, aim small, miss small. You know, that's the truth. I try to aim at finer and finer targets as I get warmed up, because I want, when I'm out, I get 1 shot, and I gotta make that 1 shot count. So another thing is, like, you might not be able to tell the angle and stuff here, but like I'll open my door and I'll shoot from my door back at targets and stuff like that. So like I'm creating laneways and that sort of thing, to mimic, you know, being out in the woods in a hunting situation. You got to thread the needle between, well, case in point, the doe that I got not last year, the year before. I had to feed it through a narrow laneway to get the doe to hit the vitals, and I did. And because I had practiced stuff like that, it was second nature. It wasn't even effort. It was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm used to this. This is, you know, too easy. I've prepared for this. So, as they say, practice makes perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect, but I'm a lot better than I was a few years back. And I've got a few Robin Hoods to show for it. And arrows aren't cheap, are they, Kelly? So, now I've shot a few at 20 yards. I'm going to move back to 30 yards or 40 yards. I'll probably do some 40 yards. Got to watch for the landmines. Let's put these right here. And then I gotta go and get my camera stand. So significantly further range. As I said, I got that one there, and then I got that little stick right there, so that'll be 50 yards. And then right at the tree line right there, as far back as I can go without encroaching on the neighbor's property, That's 57 yards. So when you practice at further distances, the closer distances seem like a piece of piss. It's easier. It's a lot easier. Less room for mistakes. We just got this beautiful chicken coop set up that I got from my buddy John DeVos. And here we go. And it's encroaching significantly further into the right of my laneway where I usually shoot. But again, you got to put it out of your mind. Come on, Winnie. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Hey, not yours. I used to shoot through this thing as well. A couple years back, I would set myself off to the right and I would pick a gap through there. I didn't have my water container and I would shoot through that. Again, threading the needle. So that looks pretty good. Yeah, that should be all right. Now, first things first, make sure you adjust 20, 30, 40. And Winnie's right beside me, so he's not at risk. So I'm going to shoot at the block on the left again. And I think you guys can see. Okay. Two shots from 40 yards. Come on, Winnie. Let's walk. This is nice. My back's been hurting since yesterday, so getting a few steps into. Two shots. And you'll see why I'm moving up to show you where I hit. Okay, where's the poopies? So, first shot, just to the right, ever so slightly, and second shot, dead nut center, split it. So that's at 40 yards, and that's a little bigger than a toonie, I would say. Maybe a bit bigger. It's off of that. Yeah, maybe a bit bigger than a toonie. So, there you go. You know, some people will say, oh, come on. They won't say, oh, come on. But anyway. Robin Hoods are partially fluke. Yep, they are. But when you're tight grouping, you know, several arrows at a time, it's bound to happen too. So, consistency. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to shoot probably 2 or 3 more, maybe step on the other side of the fence. And that'll be it. And then I got to get stuff packed. So, talk to you guys later.